Hi, I'm a master's student majoring in computer science, and this is deletion and insertion in B plus tree. This is a topic that I struggled with a bit during the starting of my semester, but as I kept on practicing, it got easier, and I realized that there are very few videos on this. So yeah, I'm gonna be teaching you how to do deletion and insertion by taking an example, and we're gonna see how that works on paper. So this is the example that I am going to be considering. This is a fairly simple B plus tree with, I believe, 3 nodes. So we have n is equal to 3. And this is the question. We have to insert 35, then insert 1, delete 19, then insert 16, delete 5, and then delete 29. You may be tempted to bunch all of the insertions and deletions together, but do not do that. Approach the question as it comes. If it says to insert one first and then delete 19 later, because it is a possibility that your question might have you insert the same number and delete the same number at the end. So this is a few computations that I've taken out. So since n is equal to 3, you need to calculate the minimum number of values that can be stored in a non-leaf node and the minimum number of values that can be stored in a leaf node. So this could be different for if you're using a different technique or different method. But yeah, since we have 3 nodes, we're going to take, so if you consider for leaf nodes are the ones that are at the very end, so like these nodes at the bottom. So it would be 3 plus 1 by 2. The formula is n plus 1 by 2, which is 4 by 2, which is 2. So for it to be underflow, it has to be less than 2 nodes. And for non-leaf nodes, you take the same thing and you subtract 1. So for non-leaf nodes to have underflow, it should be 1. So that's a simple computation. You might have a different formula to use based on what your upper bounds and lower bounds are. So just take that into notice. So the first thing is insert 35. So if you look into our tree, you should be able to gauge that the left one will be lesser than and the right one will be equal to and greater than. So 35, so 19, 35 is greater than 19, so we follow the right one. 35 is greater than 29, so we follow the right one. And 35 will go here. But since we said n is equal to 3, if we try to add another element, it would be overflow. So what we're going to do is we're going to split it. So we're going to split 29 and 31. And then 35 and 41, and since we have a new node which is 35 and 41, we're going to be adding 35 right next to 29. So this is what I've done. I'm gonna keep this up just in case to realize if you're going into underflow or overflow. Well, overflow is very easy to catch. Underflow, sometimes you might get confused. So yeah, since we added 35 and 41, 35 goes here. So that's the way that we can come back to this node if we have to come back. Let's go to the next one. Now it is insert 1. 1 is less than 19, 1 is less than 5, 1 comes here. Again, we have the same technique. So we have overflow here. So 1 and 2 form a new node, 3 and 4 form a new node. And since 3 and 4 is a new node, 3 is the one that goes here. We never write the leftmost node over here because it's lesser than and greater than or equal to. So this, the left one over here means less than 5 and the right one over here means equal to 5 or greater than 5. So 2, which is our lowest node right now, will never come here. Similarly, after inserting 1, 1 will never come there. Yep, that's what we've done. Since 3, 4 creates a new node, we've put 3 up and the rest of the tree remains same. Yeah, I'm just gonna do part of the tree because sometimes looking at the tree as a whole can be a bit overwhelming, and this is a much better way to understand. Next is to delete 19. So is 19 equal to 19? Yep. Is 19 less than 29? Yep. So it's 19 here. This causes underflow. That means it has to be, we need to have at least 2 elements in our leaf nodes. We need to have at least 2 elements in our leaf nodes, and so this causes an underflow. But since, if you remember, we had like a split here, we will rearrange, which is we'll put 23 with the 29 node before we try to do anything. So just check your question. It would say, so the assumption that I've used is to favor left node first. So if that is also your assumption, what the case would be here is if you would try to merge it with the left node. Since 11, 15, 18 already is full, it would create an overflow, so we can't merge it. So we have to merge it with the right node. So that is what we have done. We've merged 23 with 29 and 31, and over here we put 35. As I said before, you never put the left node on your non-leaf node, you always put the right one, because 35 over here means lesser than 35, so it comes here, and this one means, the right side of it means any values that are equal to or greater than 35. So delete 19 is 5. You'll also notice that we do not delete the root node. So here it's important to note that you only delete the leaf nodes. You don't delete the non-leaf nodes until they become unnecessary, which we'll come back to soon. But yeah, you do not delete non-leaf nodes until they are redundant or they point to nothing, which is why 19 stays as the root node. Okay, now we have, I think, insert 16. Okay, I can't really see it, just give me a second. Yeah, insert 16, my bad. So if we follow again 19, 11, we come here, there is an overflow, so we split 11 and 15, and we split 16 and 18, and ideally 16 should go up. That is what we've done. So we have these two new nodes, and since we have a new node here, sorry, my bad. Since we have a new node here, we send 11 up as well. Easy so far. Let's go ahead. We have delete 5. So yep, is 5, I mean, since we have a new leaf node over here, we'll just directly jump over here. Delete 5 would cause an underflow with 7, so we need to merge it with the left node first, giving priority to left node. I believe there is space in the left node, but this is where our next operation, the next, the most, not the most, one of the most important parts comes into play, where people usually go wrong, which is once we have deleted 5, we also deleted from the non-leaf node. The reason we do that is if we keep 5 here, 5 is not pointing to anything. So 3 has two pointers. One is less than 3, the other one is greater than or equal to 3, but less than 11. So because 5 is no longer pointing to anything, that is what we do. We give it we delete the node. Alright, going ahead, last one, we have delete 23. Again, we follow the node. I don't think we have an underflow. Let's check. Sorry, delete 29, my bad. We do not have an underflow. We have rectified the situation beforehand, so there is nothing to worry about over here. Just checking. 29 looks fine, everything looks fine, and yeah, 35 is here because of the node that we created. So this should be the final tree that you have. Yes, your root node can have, it's not a necessity that it should just have one node, one element in the node, but yeah, your root node can have, as long as it follows the n is equal to 3 n is equal to 3 rule, it should be fine. This is the final tree that you're left with. If you have any doubts, please mention it in the comments below. Most of the doubts I feel would arise due to the assumptions that you have made. There can be different assumptions, and if you make different assumptions, you can end up with a different tree than I do, which is fine. This is the method that I'm using, and this is the method which returns this tree based on all the assumptions that I've made, based on all the overflow and underflow assumptions that I've taken.